Let's talk real estate with Daryl King. Today, our subject is 7 things that you can do to help you after divorce. Now, my parents were married 60 years, God bless their soul. Myself, I wasn't so fortunate. I got divorced. I'm one of those statistics. But, you know, I used to do a lot of divorce, but till I actually lived through the divorce, you learn a lot and you experience a lot. So, you know, number 1 is to find a support network that can help. You know, empathy is an important quality in people. By empathy, I mean the ability to hear someone in their struggles and meet them there. It means to empathize, or to be that shoulder to lean on or sounding board to hear venting versions. Who are there people in your life who you feel you can depend on, right? Reach out to them and ask for support or help. Even if it's just for an empathetic phone call here and there, or to go out for coffee when you to leave the house. It can be really hard to ask for help, but there are a few tips for you to get started, right? So, you know, I guess before people were embarrassed, a lot of different things, but so much has changed. You know, so many people get divorced, so it's not, you're an oddball if you get divorced today. You're just among a statistic. So, you know, having that support group and someone that can give you a little hug or a shoulder to cry on and just to make you feel better. Because no matter what, if you have feelings, you're going to feel hurt and not so good, right? So that really, really helps. So any of my friends that helped me, I appreciate it even to this day. And if you need help, I'll give you the help, right? Number 2, well, they say get a good lawyer, right? I love my lawyer friends, but guys, I'll tell you, if you can work it out between the two of you, you'll save yourself a lot of money, right? Thinking of getting a lawyer may feel stressful. However, you may need help from a lawyer if you and your ex are having trouble with things like splitting assets. And I'll tell you, that really happens a lot. Lawyers can be very helpful in acting as a mediator between you and your spouse, especially if you're not sure what your rights are. While some divorce lawyers can be quite expensive, some will offer a free consult, so it won't hurt to have a discussion. To find a reputable lawyer in your area, you can ask your closest friends and family for a referral or do some research online. You can also locate one through the Association of Bar, or ask your local realtor, because they probably have a number of them, right? Because they deal with it all the time. Realize 20% of my business is divorces. So I do know some good divorce lawyers that are great, right? You know, 3, look into child support agency. If you and your spouse have children, you may need help from a child support agency to get child support payments set up. If you're the custodial parent, you should receive the child support payments. Not every divorced couple goes through a child support agency. Some agree on certain monthly child support payments and leave the courts out of it. This will depend on various circumstances and preferences. However, if you're a custodial parent, you're not receiving any child support, it's wise to reach out to your local child support agency for help. Number 4, support groups. Some communities hold support groups for divorcees. You can ask around and make some calls to social service agencies, churches, counselors, to see if there are any in your group. Try Meetup or Facebook groups as well, as there may be a local meetup designed for divorcees. Meeting regularly with other men and women who are in similar shoes can be a great support during the transition from married to single life, right? You know, number 5, get a counselor. You may benefit from seeing a professional counselor during this transition time. Even if you only go for a couple of months, it can give you a venue to share openly and honestly about how you're feeling. You know I was freaking devastated myself personally, and it was really, you know, I was more embarrassed. I was hurt, but I also felt embarrassed, and it was really, as a man, it was difficult. So, you know, being able to reach out to people and that you can openly communicate with, it can really, really help. You know, you can receive solid support and receive helpful tools that can help you deal with things like depression, anxiety, fear, and so on. Because no matter what, chances are you're going to go through all of that. And, you know, I know myself just dealing with so many people. Like I said, I deal with some very, very ugly situations sometimes where families are fighting and they don't even talk. And I mean, sometimes I got to be the mediator, and I got to communicate to one and communicate to the other, and not make sure I share anything other than, you know, the house process. So the depression, the anxiety, the fear, and so on. I just talked to a friend of mine. You know, I talked to her, now not from divorce, but with COVID-19, that, you know, we were going to get together and go for a lunch or just whatever, meet up. And then it disappeared, whatever, and then she reached out to me the other day looking for a job for her daughter. And so I just trying to touch base, you know, what happened, you disappeared, whatever, and she got worked into work and whatever, but, you know, her son is now having some struggles. So, you know, I'm going to try and find some help that we can help to help her reach out to help her son, because I hadn't seen her son in 2.5 years, and now he's feeling all those things that I just talked about. So no, if you can find somebody or be that support for somebody, I'll tell you what, they'll greatly appreciate it. And, you know, and after, especially after the last 2.5 years, there's more and more people feeling a lot more like that. So it's not just divorcees, it's people in general, right? You know, finding a forum, number 6. Visit a forum geared up to support divorcees can prove to be a valuable resource. There's various online forums you can pursue to ask questions, read what others suggest, and feel part of a larger community. Daily Strength is one well-known online forum where you can connect with others where they may have the answers that you're looking for, right? So really help. You know, 7, journal your emotions. It can be quite an emotional time going through a divorce. Some people say that journaling their thoughts and feelings gives them a way to vent feelings. Whether you have a blank journal and simply write whatever comes to your mind, or use a guided journal. Putting your thoughts on paper can help you feel less stress and organize your thoughts or emotions. You know, divorcee has a new beginning. Life after divorce may feel challenging for a while. I would say, for me personally, it took me about a year. And myself, my escape was just 24/7 into helping other families buy or sell or invest in real estate. My biggest increase was the year I got divorced. I helped over 100 more families that particular year, because if I'm working, I didn't have to have that thought or that pain or anything. So, you know, there's a lot of things that can go into it. You know, life after divorce is challenging for a while, you know. And I'm not an expert, trust me. But I think for most people, it's probably about a year. While some may solely look at it as a devastating experience, it can be looked at it from the perspective of a new beginning. You know, this doesn't minimize the pain you may feel as you go through it. The pain or grief is real, and it's important that you take the time to process it and integrate with it. At the same time, as you begin to heal, try to remain hopeful that life after divorce can be good again. You can indeed move on past the grief, frustration, fear, and so on. Keep in mind that it can be easier when you know where to turn for help and surround yourself with a caring community of people. Me and my ex are best of friends. We were best friends before we got married. We're best friends again today. You know, and we negotiated, you know, most of it through ourselves instead of through the lawyers. So that saved a lot less grease and headaches and stuff like that. So, you know, look for someone to share with, you know, and make sure that you're speaking to someone that's just not impractical and coming and be vengeful. Guys, it doesn't work that way. It takes two parties. You came together as one party, you're separating as two separate parties. But, you know, if you got kids and stuff like that, there's a lot of challenges, and you want to be able to communicate with that person, because there's going to be birthdays and weddings and other special occasions that you will have to get together. So I hope this helped you out somewhat. I say I'm not an expert, so look up an expert that can help you out further. But, you know, for further any questions, feel free to give me a call at 905-907-5464. Our home's at darylking.com, and we'd be happy to try and find some answers for you. Be well, be safe, take care, bye-bye.